Good morning, everyone. How is everyone today? I know it's only been since yesterday since I've seen you, but hope everybody is well. All right, so what are we going to do first this morning? I think we'll start with lighting our candle. Get that lit. And do a little smudge. Doesn't want to go this morning. There we go. All right. And while that is just smudging for a second, I'm going to go in and invite people. There it goes. Sorry, the list didn't come up. So I know this time of year is kind of a struggle for most of us here, especially in the Northeast. All right, sorry about that. Guess my internet is still acting up this morning. My internet has been absolutely horrible. I have not been able to watch any of my classes lately. I can watch usually some short YouTube videos or something, but that's pretty much it. I haven't been able to watch much of anything. But anyway, what I was saying before the internet paused me here is that this time of year we all kind of struggle, especially in the Northeast. You know, the winter is time for rest and reflection, but we've pretty much had our fill of that at this point. Most of us are wanting to get back to some activity, get back to being outside, which my husband just sent me a text this morning, and he basically told me that the whole world is pissing him off. And even though I haven't gone in depth with him about it, but it's because, all right, I guess we're just going to have troubles today with the internet. So I apologize if it gets cut off. I probably will just end it, but hopefully we can make it through what I want to cover. So I will go into what I want to cover, and then there's a few things like pulling the cards and stuff. If we don't get cut off, we'll do that at the end, okay? So today, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about, was, you know, I was getting ready for spring. The actual title of today's is 5 Rituals to Rebirth, which is just a little bit more technical of a name, but all right. So you're going to see some funny pauses in here. It's because of my internet. So we're talking about 5 rituals to rebirth, which is basically getting ready for spring, which most of us are definitely ready for spring. I am ready to go outside barefoot and have my feet in the grass, that is for sure. So the 5 things to do to kind of prepare yourself for this is create space. And just about anything that we ever talk about, that's probably going to be on the list, is create space. That means a lot of things. That means declutter your house, do some housework. I had to come home last night and do dishes because it was just driving me crazy. I had to do dishes and laundry, and I have to have my house decluttered at most of the time. So if you have things like that, you can do, you know, just, we always call it spring cleaning. I can't wait till there's a day where I can have the windows open and the fresh air coming through. But if you can, you know, declutter your space and make room for some energy, but it's also kind of for you yourself, you know, it's a good time to kind of let go of anything that's not serving you, which we've talked about all of that. Past relationships, clean relationships, energies that aren't serving you. We've talked about all that. So if you're new to the group, you can always go back and watch my other videos. They're always labeled at the top, so you know what they're about. Sorry, I've got a different lighting because like as the time is changing and the sun is changing, there's like this huge glare behind me right now. And so I don't have my big overhead lights on. I have just this little light, and it's shining off my glasses, but I think it's actually making it so you guys can see me a little bit better. But so create space is number one. Number two is plant seeds. And I think in the springtime, a lot of us do that anyway. So a couple of nice little ideas is you could get some little pots and plant a bunch of different little herbs, maybe to go around your kitchen sink or something like that. So that is on my project list. I've bought 4 little terracotta plants, pots, and I'm going to put some herbs in them. Another thing is you can plant some seedlings to go outside. So whether it's vegetables or plants, one of my projects this spring is I wanted to plant myself a moon garden. And I have been buying the seeds over the winter. And so I'm going to see about getting some of those planted and get them started. So right after Memorial Day, I can get them planted out in my moon garden. I'll keep you updated on how that's going. So planting seeds, new beginnings, growth, life, all that stuff. We all get very excited, or at least I do get very excited when I start to see the tulips or the crocuses popping up through the snow. And I know that the warmer days are definitely coming. It was really nice last night when I left work at 5:30. It was not daylight out, but it was definitely not dark. So that was exciting. Number 3 is spend time with nature. And again, that's one of the things. So spend some time with nature. Like I was saying earlier, that is definitely something that we're all getting very anxious to do. We want to do. Sounds silly, but my husband loves to mow the lawn. So he's ready to do that. I'm ready to be outside and have my hands in some dirt and plant some stuff. Even kind of tackled the thought of maybe planting some pumpkins this year. So we'll see how ambitious I go. If I get my herbs and I get my moon garden done, I have to do my gardening very early in the end of May, beginning of June, because as soon as motorcycle season hits, that's pretty much all we do on the weekends if it's not raining. And if it's raining, then I can't really be outside doing my gardening either. So I have to do it very early. So hopefully we'll see if I get those two projects done, my moon garden and my herbs I can do in here. I can do that anytime. So I'm going to try to get that done either next weekend or the weekend after. But so spend some time out for nature. Even if you've got some snow still out on the ground, if we've got a warmer day coming, which is not today, but if you've got a warmer day coming, take a walk, go to a park, sit on a bench. I am hoping there'll be a day in the next few weeks that maybe I can at least go out and sit on my patio. Even though I'll still have to be bundled up, I can be outside for a little bit. So even though it's still a little chilly and stuff, I know as soon as, for me, even the other day, I went to the grocery store and it was like 38 degrees and I'm like, God, I could have shorts on. Sorry, I guess it's going to keep doing this. I have a plan that I'm working on to stop this, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, if, like I was saying, if it's like 36 degrees right now from being negative 20, it seems pretty darn warm out there. So, if you have a day that's in the high 30s or even gets into the 40s, it's going to be a really nice day to get outside for a little bit. Even if it's 20-30 minutes, just go outside. If you're really brave, take your socks and shoes off and find a section, maybe if you got a dirt driveway or something that's not covered in snow, just stand there for a few seconds. I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that yet, but so then number 4 is going to be call in the magic of fire. Usually we have our candles going here. I have candles all over the house. I don't make candles as far as I don't actually make the candle. I buy the candle and then I usually decorate them up. I'll put glitter, I put pictures, I put ribbons, I tied keys on an old like skeleton key. But I like to decorate them up and kind of make them my own. So those are all over my house. So there's usually always Sorry, I'm turning the Wi-Fi off on my phone, so maybe that will help. So yeah, there's always some kind of candle going here at my house. I see Shannon just popped on, so thanks Shannon for popping on. Bear with me, I'm having internet issues today. So yeah, so this is one of the candles I made. So I don't, like I said, I don't make the candle. I go out and buy the candles. But I like to make them my own. I put pictures on them, I put ribbons on them, glitter, you know, different ribbons, gemstones, whatever I have, depending on what I'm looking for to make the candle. So fire magic is a good one. My husband did try to start a bonfire in the backyard last weekend, didn't go very well. Our bonfire is covered in probably about 3-4 feet of snow. So he stuck all the wood on top of where the bonfire pit is and lit it, but as it burned, the snow just kept it was sinking down and the snow just kind of kept melting it. But he gave it a pretty good shot. He was out there for about an hour trying to get it going for me. Again, I apologize. Tried to just keep going. So yeah, bonfires, candles. If you've got an indoor fireplace, that's great. I don't. Well, I do. I have a fireplace, but it's really, really old. The chimney needed way more work than we really were looking to put into it at this time. So we bought one of those space heaters that looks like a fireplace. So it has all the flames and the crackle as it gives off heat, but it's really not the same thing. So working with fire is going to, just kind of help with your vitality, your creativity, things of that sort. So good, always good to work with fire. I have fire all the time. I have 2 signs that are in the fire element. So I do like fire. I like to burn stuff. And number 5 is your spring altar. And we've talked small amounts about altars, not a whole lot. There is a photo album in there. There is a photo album in there with some different ideas on how to set up an altar, things you can put on your altar. In the next couple of weeks, maybe I will do that. We'll have one on altars. I have an altar that I leave up all the time. I've had it up for probably close to 5 years now. But this is again the time of year where I don't dismantle it. I don't want it because that's not a true, real descriptive word. But I do kind of move it. I dust. I kind of clean it out and then I put everything back. Because there's a lot of stuff on my altar, and like I said, I have had it up for quite a few years, and it does get dusty. And every once in a while, I usually do that. I usually kind of move everything and dust it and put it back. So I'm going to do that in the next couple of weekends. And so maybe after I do that, somehow I'll figure out how to do a live showing you my altar, or yeah, so my altar. So yeah, I'll figure out how to do a live and go over altars and how they can be set up, and the different directions and different things, tools or representation for the different elements and all that. So you can always add personal touches to it as well. So some of the things, if you want to get started on an altar, some of the things is you can pick your gemstones, your candles, your essential oils, any herbs, any tools, and then any kind of personal touches. So I usually have candles. I do have different kinds of herbs. I have different rocks. I have seashells. I have a piece of wood that is a wand, or to me it's a wand. To most people it'll be a stick of wood. So this is one of my wands. And again, most people are going to look at it and say, that is a stick. There are a lot of people out there who like to wire wrap. They like to add gemstones, ribbons. all kinds of things. I like my wand just like this. You can do whatever you want with your wand, but this is how I like mine. Just pure, simple piece of wood. All right, so yeah, so you can put tools on there. Like I said, I have seashells. I have a couple of dragonfly. I think one was a barrette and one was a pin or something that I have sit on there because those are one of my spirit, my animal guides. And okay, so I'm losing my place here, waiting for it to come back. So I have my wand, I have seashells, I have some old bottles. They're old bottles that when Eric and I have been walking up in the woods, we find the old glass bottles up there. I like to have those on my altar because my altar is for all the elements, but I like to do I like to do ancestral work. So that's kind of on there representing that for me. I do have a cactus on my altar, which represents that life can go on with even very little substance. Cactuses need just a little teeny bit of water on it, and again, that's been on there for years, and it's still alive, and it's huge now. It's like this big, long, tall cactus. But that's kind of what that represents for me, is that, you know, even though we don't have much, we can still live and go on. So your altar can, you know, be very personalized as well. The cactus can also just represent the earth element. So can, you know, represent lots of different things. Morning, Annette. Thanks for popping on. I'm having all kinds of internet issues. Hopefully before my next video on Tuesday, hopefully we can get this sorted out. Our internet just progressively is getting worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to see about getting a space where I can tap my laptop in with an actual wire to the internet. But so we talked about the 5 rituals of rebirth, which I'll just go over real quick again. It's create space, which just means your spring cleaning. 2 is plant some seeds, which I think a lot of us do at this time of year anyway. We're getting ready to have our gardens outside. 3 is spend some time out in nature. Again, I think we're all ready for that. We're all ready to get out, and I'm sure Annette will agree with me. I'm ready for hot summer days and being on the motorcycle. Call on your fire magic, which is have your candles going. Like I said, my candles are pretty much going here all the time. And then number 5 is a spring altar. I don't typically set up a spring altar, but in the springtime is usually the time, again, when we're doing that spring cleaning, that I take my permanent altar, I kind of move it out, I clean the area, and you know, clean the things as I put them back on there. So again, I'll see about getting somehow alive, so you guys can see that what's on my altar. I think at one time I posted a picture on here of my altar, but I can't remember. But before I promise to do that, I'm going to clean it, and then then I will post it. It's kind of dusty right now, so I don't really want to take a picture and post it right now. Couple of things before I go. I did want to talk about March 1st, which is Friday. Friday, we're going to already be in March. Venus is going to enter Aquarius. So when that happens, it's kind of a sign of unity. It's going to encourage you to love, but typically it's going to be self-love, which we talked about yesterday. You know, some of the ways to embrace your own emotions, and we've talked about love in general, and we've talked about that you need to love yourself before you can be in a good relationship. So again, for anybody that's new, you can go back and watch any of the videos. They stay up there. I don't take them down, and they are all have a title over them, so you kind of have an idea of what you're gonna watch. So yes, so Venus entering Aquarius is kind of encouraging unity and self-love. You may be called to revamp some stuff about yourself. Not anything drastic, I don't think. This is a time of year where some of you might be wanting a whole new wardrobe, or you might want to be redecorating your living room. I do little things, like the other day I got new throw pillows for the couch. They were kind of something a little different, so it changed up the look of the living room a little bit. So you may be getting some urges to do that kind of stuff. Maybe I've been wanting to change my curtains and just a few things like that that are going to just change my living room up a little bit. So I'm ready for that. And you might even want to revamp your relationship a little bit. And I don't feel that that means like you want a new relationship necessarily. I mean, there probably is plenty of you out there that are ready for a new relationship, or are in a relationship and just are ready to be out of it for a new relationship. But I think this is more of a just revamping the relationship you're in. And again, I don't think it's drastic things. It's little things. So we just recently talked about being in clean relationships. So it may be just something like that. Maybe you've got some stuff to clear out with a partner and come forth and maybe that will help. A lot of times we don't tell things to our partners because we're afraid. And most of the time when I finally come forward with Eric, and I'm not talking about like cheating or anything, I'm like that I spent too much money on a sweatshirt kind of stuff. He usually gets a little irritated, but he gets over it and he's fine with it. But on the other, if you are in a relationship and say you did have an extra side relationship, this might be a good time to just come clean. And that depends on you. Sorry. If you're feeling remorseful for that, certainly express that to your partner, and maybe you can work things out. If you cheated and you're not feeling remorseful, maybe that's a pretty good sign that this relationship that you're in is not really the relationship you should be in. So again, that's kind of what we talked about yesterday is, getting in connecting with your emotions, digging down and actually finding where some of these emotions come from. Everything kind of ties in somehow, or at least I try. So I'm gonna get ready to sign off here. My internet is really irritating me. I'm trying to stay calm about it. But last Thursday we pulled the Love Connection card. So I'm gonna put that back in the deck, and we're going to pull a card. Again, not pulling for anybody particular, just pulling for the group. But sometimes the cards have a different idea. So apparently that's the card that we're going to use. I always, when I'm pulling cards for somebody else or for myself, if a card seems like it's jumping out of the deck, so if I'm ever pulling cards and a card seems to jump out of the deck, that is always the card that I go with. So the one we pulled today is Violet Flame. I think we might have done this before, but I'm not sure. I may have pulled it for somebody before and I'm just being confused. The violet flame of spiritual protection surrounds you always. You are intimately connected with the divine. You can safely release any addictions that no longer serve you. Your angels are right here to help you reclaim the true power and protect you from harm. Know and feel that you are receiving and emanating the violet ray of compassion, mercy, and purification, which blesses the entire universe. I like that last part because that kind of goes with the whole at the end of every video I kind of tell you guys, I don't want to tell you guys anything. I express deeply to you to spread kindness. So that is oh, and it just it goes with your crown chakra, which is up here. It goes with your amethyst, which I have my amethyst right here, and the herb is gotu kola, which I don't have any gotu kola here, but it's kind of funny because the company I work for, gotu kola is one of the main ingredients in the product that we make. So maybe by using a little mouthwash or toothpaste, I'm connecting with my divine and opening my crown chakra. Kind of funny. Be a new advertising campaign at work. If you want to connect with the divine and open your crown chakra, brush your teeth. Sorry, you have to find humor in things. All right, so we've talked about the 5 ways to rebirth for spring. We have pulled our new card for the week. Let's see, what else? We smudged this morning already. And so the other thing is I did see that I posted the video for Pisces. I have watched all the videos, but I watched them quite a while ago. So this weekend I will be re-watching that. And then either Tuesday or Thursday, we will be talking about Pisces. We have a retrograde coming up, so we will probably be talking about that next week as well. And so I think that's some of the things we'll be talking about. One of the things is, if you could, when you're watching this, if you could just either, give me a thumbs up or a heart, tell me you've watched it, just say hello, hi, whatever, just so I kind of know that someone is. I have not forgot about the medicine bundles, so we will still be doing that. We have talked a little bit about different things that you may want to be gathering. So hopefully Tuesday we'll have a little bit better internet connection, and I'll try to go over that information again if you're interested in what color cloth or ribbons or what you might be looking to put in your bundle. And then maybe we'll set an actual date for what day we're going to do that one, so you guys know ahead when we're going to do that. Or maybe it'll be a separate one from our normal ones or something. Because I know you guys have a hard time getting on at this time of morning, but it's really the best time for me to have quiet in the house and do it. But maybe on a Saturday or Sunday or something, maybe we could make our medicine bundles together. I'll just tell Eric he'll have to go out in the garage for a couple hours. And the last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is when I started this group, my intention was for it to be women only. That reason was because I wanted it to be a space where you could feel comfortable asking questions. Even if that question was, does my menstrual cycle go with the moon cycle, or what is a good stone I could use for my menstrual cycle? I am irregular, or I have a lot of cramps, or I wanted it to be a space where you could feel comfortable and safe asking whatever you want to ask. Unfortunately, it hasn't really turned into that. I've been here about 6 months now doing videos, and it hasn't been real interactive, and I'm sure part of that is because you guys are watching the videos after the fact. I hope that you're watching them. I hope somebody's watching them. Again, if you're watching it, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, say hi, anything, just so I kind of have an idea of who's watching out there. But so I had a poll on the group which says asking the group as a whole if we want to start to invite men in to the group. I've had 2 gentlemen who have asked to be in the group, and so but before I do any of that, I really do want this to be a place where you guys are comfortable, you girls are comfortable. And so that decision is ultimately being left up to you guys to decide. So that poll is out there. So if you would like to take a minute and go and let me know if you're okay or not okay with letting the gentlemen in the group, that would be awesome. And then I will let you know what's going on. You know, before I do that with the group, I'll make a post that says either I am or I'm not at this time, and maybe we'll revisit it later. So whatever you guys want to do. So with that, and my very frustrating internet, I am going to say goodbye. I'm off to work. Even though my video is not that long, I've actually been sitting here for quite a while. So I will see you guys all on Tuesday. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday. And remember, be kind. Your kindness